for Goodwill Industries in the Workforce Development Department. I'm the director there, and I work with Satanya. We have 15 different programs that we are scaling to help people with disadvantages achieve self-sufficiency.
Rose, I'm a registered nurse. I have a master's degree from UC Davis Betty Irene Moore School of Nursing in nursing science and healthcare leadership with an emphasis on community engagement. I'm a public health nurse, and I work in community health. Now I work in a different branch of community health as a credentialed school nurse. So I'm providing clinical oversight for school nurses in the Sacramento Valley.
What's up, Stu? Hey, so I'm Malaki Sekou Amen. I am Chief Executive Officer of the California Urban Partnership. The Urban Partnership is a statewide organization that provides assistance to nonprofit organizations to help them collaborate so that they can kind of get out of their silos and work collaboratively to develop stronger programs, to develop stronger businesses in the community that will employ those who need the work most, and as well as to collaborate to advance policy solutions that will solve some of our pressing problems in the areas of economic development, education and workforce development, healthy, safe, and livable communities. And then, of course, one of our focus areas is how do we outreach and educate the community to get involved and to be the change they wish to see.
I'm a nursing student here at Sacramento City College. I'm collabing with Sac State now getting my bachelor's degrees here, so I'm almost done. And my goal is I heard we're saving lives. I'm not sure if that's true yet because with my skills, I'm not quite there yet. But I'm hoping to help the community out and give it back to the society. Thank you.
The group is, so we're studying sociology, right? The study of society. And we're looking at this idea of social change and issues related to health disparities and the social determinants of health. How does your organization fit into this larger idea of society?
Department Workforce Development works very hard to help individuals who are seeking employment opportunities gain skills and also the ability to advocate for themselves in the workplace. So as a social determinant of health, your internal or personal wellness is a very important part of that. If you are desirous, if you have goals that are around acquiring skills and or employment, your mental and emotional health is largely reliant on your skill set or your ability to obtain or achieve those goals. So our department works really hard on an individual basis with people to help them gain the skills that they desire. So we don't set forth a plan for a person. We don't meet someone and say, hey, you look like you should be an underwater basket weaver. We're going to get you set up with that. We essentially go through a number of different assessments, meetings, opportunities for growth, and then determine a plan, help people based on labor market information. We get that from the Employment Development Department and the Bureau of Labor Statistics, find out what our growth areas for different facets of the employment and or occupations, and then we help them pick a job, and then we help them get it. That's what we do.
Me? I just recently took a job in private industry, but I still work in schools, the public schools in the Sacramento Valley. Healthy kids learn better, and that is our mantra. What we do is try to provide health services that keep kids in school. But there are a lot of other social determinants involved in getting kids to school. Neighborhoods, family issues, health issues that are outside of the school, transportation issues, all contribute to the health of the school and the individuals. School nursing is community, it's an arm of community health. And I liken it to the ripple effect. The services that you provide for the student, that student takes home. It's shared with the family. And then that knowledge is shared with the neighborhood and then into the community. And that's the way school nurses can have an impact.
All right, so as I mentioned before, the California Urban Partnership provides some technical assistance to help nonprofit community organizations collaborate so that we can have stronger community-based programs, stronger businesses and policy solutions in our community. One of the things that is important to us and our focus in terms of addressing the social determinants of health is, how do we deal with a whole army out there of community-based organizations who are providing, some really interesting, some great services, whether it's, it's increasing the wealth of the community, creating jobs, whether it is making sure that kids are, more successful and becoming, educated, or training folks who've just gotten out of jail to be gainfully employed, or whether it's creating a healthy, safe, and livable community. So we have a whole atmosphere, not just in Sacramento, but throughout communities in the state of California who are working in all of these areas, but they don't get the kinds of results that are needed in order for us to move the needle to make significant changes that communities can see over time. And so what we do is we have a process for how to help those organizations collaborate, which involves one of our components, which is Collaboration 101. It's an exercise that we use to bring community leaders together from different sectors, whether it's nonprofit, whether it's policymakers, whether it's law enforcement, whether it is healthcare professionals, and so on, business leaders, religious leaders. So we bring them together in our Collaboration 101 exercise, and we go block by block on our focus areas: economic development, education, health, and how do we organize the community, and then we break up into action teams, and those action teams develop action plans, and those action plans become our priorities until we build these solutions that are actually going to make the changes that we need to so that every day when you walk down the street in a low income community or communities of color, it's not always the same. So what are some examples of stronger businesses, stronger community-based programs, stronger policy solutions? Some of the examples for us include the priorities that we now have in terms of replicating some best practices models that are out there. So we have a priority of replicating a farmer's market where low-income communities and communities of color are able to access healthy foods, where those communities who have entrepreneurs who want to start a business are able to have an opportunity to serve healthy cooked food to the community, and then finally have a center where entertainment, where culture and diversity is always on a showcase in the community. So imagine something like that at the corner of, I don't know how many of you are familiar with Del Paso Heights. So how many of you are familiar with the corner of Marysville and Grand Boulevard? So imagine something like that at the corner of Marysville Boulevard and Grand Avenue. That's the kind of outcome that we're looking for. The other kind of outcome that we're looking for is small businesses joint venturing, such as those in the building industry, so that they can be in a better position to fix up the abandoned, boarded up houses in the community, or create buildings where successful businesses thrive. Another example is creating collaboration amongst those community leaders in different sectors to identify underrepresented students of color and to track them from 8th grade through college in healthcare professions, so that we diversify the healthcare profession, and so that healthcare is providing culturally competent services to the patients that come in the hospitals and clinics and so on, because that's a problem. And lastly, our fourth priority is technology centered. It's about helping youngsters of color who are underrepresented in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, helping them to learn how to code. All those programs, fancy programs that you use on your smartphones that created Facebook, that created Google, helping to create some opportunities where you see a Black Mark Zuckerberg or a Hispanic Mark Zuckerberg, or an East Asian Mark Zuckerberg, really doing something out of the box so that we have equity and fairness in the world that we want to live in. So that represents the kind of examples and that we're focused on, and how it relates to addressing the social determinants of health.